Good morning, honey.
Hi. Good morning. Beautiful day.
It's just gorgeous,
A little rain, a little sun, a little rain, a little sun.
Yeah, just perfect for plant.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got Revelation 10 this morning.
Yeah.
And it's a short chapter, but it's got quite a bit of symbolism in it. And we have another scroll. Here we have the symbolism of a couple of other places in the Bible. It references something written on paper and then it tasting bitter. And so we're going to get into that, but just to give a quick review, we've got the vision is primarily up in the throne room of God, and Christ opening a scroll that God has handed to him, and it's his inheritance. Scene is this these seals, and there's 7 seals that hold this rolled up scroll together. And as you open up the first seal and you look at it, and then you open up the next seal and you keep going. And there's 7 seals, and by the time you get to the 7th seal, you're pretty deep into it. The 6th seal is kind of an interlude, but by the 7th seal, you're getting into the bigger picture of these 7 trumpets of judgment, and that the 7th trumpet will also mark the return of Christ. And within the 7 trumpets, the last trumpet, there's 7 bowls. And these are the wrath that God pours out. Now, these 7 bowls of judgment, or bowls of wrath, if you will, the final thing that happens prior to Christ's return. And they are restricted to the wicked. God is a sniper. He's the most perfect sniper in the world, and he never misses. So if he's going to pour out wrath, and there are people there that are not deserving of wrath, he's not going to miss. So I don't know why people came up with this pre-trib rapture thing. If we're not destined for wrath, that means that we could be standing right next to the target, and we're not destined for the sniper's bullet.
Yeah.
He can shoot, and we can keep standing right there, and he'll never hit us.
Yes.
So I don't understand why people thought that we have to be removed from wrath to fulfill this concept that we're not destined for wrath. We can be in the middle of God's wrath, not destined for it, and never have to move an inch.
Amen.
And so the reality is that the 2 people working in the field and one is taken away, that's the wicked person that was taken away.
I agree.
So, all right, so we're in the middle of this internal vision of the angel with the scroll, and this is it's a judgment on the faithful or the unfaithful, if you will. He's got this vision of mighty angel coming down from heaven, and his face was pretty awesome. He held a small scroll, and it was already open. And he put his right foot on the sea and his left on the land, and cried out in the voice of a roar. What is in here, this is significant because it's about one of the, there's only one other place I can remember that where it says, an angel says, don't write this down. But he says, I, John, was about to put it in writing, but I heard a voice from heaven saying, seal up what the 7 thunders have said and do not write it down. And we think that the 7 thunders mean the 7 trumpets, and that this is these trumpets of judgment. And what is he judging? Well, that's what this is all about, is what is the judgment all about? Okay, so the voice in heaven says, take the small scroll from this mighty angel. And the angel says, take it and eat it. It will make your stomach bitter, but in your mouth it will be as sweet as honey. Well, the small scroll goes all the way back to the book of Numbers, where a woman is being accused of being unfaithful. Here, and the priest shall write these curses on a scroll and wash them off into the bitter water. he is to have the woman drink the bitter water that brings a curse, and it will enter her and may cause her bitter suffering. And if it doesn't, that means she wasn't unfaithful. All right, so this goes all the way back to questioning a wife's faithfulness. And so then in Ezekiel, we have God talking to the prophet, and he says, "Son of man, eat this scroll, and then go speak to the house of Israel." So I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll. Eat, fill your stomach with the scroll. And I ate. It was sweet as honey in my mouth. But then he says, "I'm going to send you to the people of Israel and accuse them of being unfaithful." And another thing that's interesting in here is that if I had sent you to lands of unfamiliar speech, what we call the Goyim, they would have listened to you. But the house of Israel will be unwilling to listen to you, since they are unwilling to listen to me. See, and this is the thing about faithfulness. It's interesting because in the Old Testament, there's no word for faith, but there is this word for faithfulness. And it's basically, it comes from Deuteronomy 7:9, where it says, "Therefore know that the Lord your God, he is God, the faithful God, who keeps covenant and mercy for 1,000 generations." And the word faithful is linked to the idea of keeping your promises and being merciful. And so it's interesting that we think of faith in a whole different way. We kind of think of it as believing or something, but what it really means is staying with the person that you've made a promise to, covenant, and being merciful to them, because you can't stay with them if you can't be forgiving to them.
Yeah.
And so faithfulness is as much about mercy and forgiveness and staying in a relationship. And that's why it's connected to a wife, because to a husband too, because either way, there's a relationship that involves, and children. That's why I'm so against this idea that children need to leave the home at 18, whether they're married or not. It tells them that faithfulness is not something that's important, that you can grow out of it. It's not. God never gives up on us, and our children should never give up on us, and our parents should never give up on us. And we should all be faithful to one another. And here in Revelation 10, God is saying, you have failed the faithfulness test, Israel. And so he is going to bring judgment on her. And in the bigger picture, he is saying the whole world has. And so he's going to come in, and he's given us 6,000 years from creation to run this world, and we have failed. And so the 1,000 years that comes next will be the master coming home to his kingdom, and we will be his priests, and they'll rule it. So this, I call chapter 10 the adultery test. There is no faith and faithfulness generally. Remember how in last week I said that this world is like a kingdom of a king, and he's left. He's all right for 6,000 years. I'm going to let you guys run this thing on your own. We failed.
Yeah.
Now we can say that in a general sense, even though we know there's a remnant that will remain faithful. And so that's Revelation 10, the adultery test.
Thank you for watching, and if you like his video, please subscribe it and give him a thumbs up and share it with your friend, and may this video bless you. God bless you. See you next time.